Hi everyone, and welcome to our webinar today titled Gamify Your Classroom. Whether you are still in school or you are working for a summer school or after school activities, hopefully the session will be fruitful and with a lot of support to motivate our students and engage them to achieve our learning results. Let me share my screen. And start together. My name is Farah Ristom, Microsoft Certified Trainer, Microsoft Certified Educator, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. Welcome to our webinar. Here are our contact details and welcome to all suggestions, recommendations, and ideas at the end of the session. Moving to our agenda today, we are going to have an overview and find the difference between three main terms: games, game-based learning, and gamification. Then we will move to what is gamification. We're going to see together the elements of gamification. We will learn about how does gamification work in the classroom. We will share the benefits of using gamification in the classroom. We will see together the features of gamification. I will share also best gamification applications, and we will end up with the resources and conclusion. So let's start with an overview and find out what is the difference between games, game-based learning, and gamification. The three terms are after attracting and motivating students, yet we have to see the difference to learn more about these terms. Games is for fun and entertainment whenever it is embedded into a lesson in the classroom. Some examples: puzzles and bingo games. However, game-based learning is a unique approach using the elements of a game to teach a specific skill. Could be problem solving, could be critical thinking, or others. Also, it is after achieving a specific learning outcome. For example, at the end of the lesson, our learning objective is to let students learn how to describe the life cycle of a frog using a diagram. So now we know what is gaming, what is game-based learning. What about gamification? This word is new in our vocabulary, actually. And due to the rapid growth of technology, it developed strong bonds with the products like an application or a website. But what is gamification? What does it mean, this word? This is an application, is the application of game mechanics using the elements of a game in non-game activity, in a traditional activity to promote desired behavior. For example, to promote being on time the first session, or to motivate students to complete their assignments in classroom. Also, to drive learning outcomes, to achieve specific learning objectives at the end of the lesson. So now we know what is gaming, what is game-based learning, and what is gamification. All of them, they are after fun and entertainment. However, they are used in different ways. What is the purpose of gamification in the classroom? Gamification is after attracting students, get them more involved, more engaged in specific activities. Gamification is after changing the students' thinking and behavior in the classroom. We are after respecting rules in the computing lab. We are after respecting each other's or others' properties, and so on. Being on time, as I said, on the for example, the first session, raising your hands whenever you want to ask about any clarification or any question, or taking a permission to leave outside the classroom. Also to motivate everyone in the classroom from a long-term perspective. So now we know what is gamification and what's the purpose of gamification in the classrooms. Why we need to know about gamification? Every single educator should know what is the real meaning of gamification. Accordingly, this will help the educators to select and to recognize the approaches, the features, and the tools. Accordingly, they can select what meet what meet most student learning needs. And this is what we are after, achieving our learning objectives and meeting student learning needs at the end of every session. Let's move now to the elements of gamification. Here are common elements of gamification in education. We have visual design. We can have story. We can have hidden questions. We can have mystery in the content. We can have competition. We can have challenges, also rewards, also badges, instant feedback. So these are the most common elements of gamification in education. I will share a few examples of gamification. Stories, quizzes, games, missions, or challenges. If we start with the stories, all of us, we know that students like stories rather than having a solid material reading a book. They will be more motivated and they will more actively participate in specific activities assigned to them. If we talk about quizzes, all kinds of quizzes, formative or summative, all these types of quizzes help in testing learners' knowledge and challenging their skills. What about games? It's essential every now and then, especially once you have 2 consecutive lessons, or you have tough material, or you have complex problem solving, to have fun, to reduce stress, and to create motivation to engage students one more time after hard or complex tasks. Moving to missions or challenges. These are main parts of gamified design, and they provide new exciting opportunities. They are building skills, testing knowledge, and to encourage to achieve desired behaviors. So now you know what is gamification, the difference between gamification and games, difference between gamification and game-based learning, you know about the purpose of gamification, and a few examples I just shared now. What about taking 1 minute thinking how you can use gamification in your classroom? How can you gamify your classroom? Now, let's move together and talk how does gamification work? Actually, we have two major ways. We have the content gamification and the structural gamification. So once we talk about content gamification, we say here there should be change in the content. How to change the content? Creating a story or adding hidden questions, adding mystery inside the content. So students will be excited and they're going to enjoy the content and going to be more motivated to read the material which is required in that lesson. What about structural gamification? Structural gamification, it's the applying of game mechanics, yet without any changes in the content. You can create quizzes, challenges, give points, encourage competition, teamwork, and rewards, yet with no changes. So here are two major ways to implement gamification techniques: content gamification and structural gamification. How gamification works? Let's see together. Gamification works as a guide for the students to unlock the levels. It works as a guide for the learners to help them by notifications or clues whenever they are stuck here or there. So they can move from one level to another, from beginners to intermediate to advanced levels, or to more complex levels. Moreover, gamification offers real-life feedback. It gives instant feedback. It's not only to demonstrate, to show the results in real time. It's more. It's for reward success. And here students will be more motivated and more engaged in the activity to learn more and to move forward from one module to another to complete the lesson or the course or the activity required, while challenging themselves since there are more rewards and badges. So now we know how gamification works. What are the two major ways to implement gamification techniques? And we know that gamification is a guide to help students with instant feedback to motivate students so that they work hard level up, and more to success and rewards and badges. What about the benefits of using gamification in the classroom? As you can see here, gamification serves in multiple purposes. There are many benefits of using gamification in the classroom, starting from engagement, motivation, self-improvement, creativity, developing individual and teamwork, reducing stress, building confidence, also improving learning skills, and much more, promoting healthy competition. And this is in addition to teaching psychological practices. For example, how to be resilient to setbacks. All of us, we fail. All of us, we bounce back. However, we have to learn from our mistakes to continue the journey and to go on and to start with a new experience with confidence and self-esteem. So gamification has many benefits in the classroom to motivate our students, to engage them in activities, and to achieve specific results at the end of every single lesson. What about the features of gamification? We will find out together the features of gamification. Efficient features of gamification. Let's have a look at this image. We start with points. All students like the teachers who give points. Also, we have rewards and badges. Moreover, all students, they like once there is points and levels in the game. We have also leaderboards, and we have progress bars, and we have in-app currency. Let's explore and find out more about these features. Let's start with points and levels. If you look at this image, you can see here we have different levels. And in this game, we have silver member, gold member, platinum member, diamond member. We have points related to each level. So every game, it has its rules. And here we have points and levels to this example, to this sample of a game. Accordingly, students, if they earn from 1 to 100, they're going to be silver member, which is level 1. So points and levels gives measurable and meaningful targets, offers real-time feedback, and as a result, this will help students to be more motivated and engage in the classroom. Let's move to the second feature, rewards and badges. This is an amazing gamification example in education, actually. Students like so much rewards and badges, and especially they are more useful when they are assigned to specific tasks and when they are different types, so that students will enjoy gaining and earning these rewards and badges, and especially once they know that these will be earned depending on the task and depending on the level of the activity. So starting from simple activities to intermediate level activities to complex activities, they will find it more engaging to move from one level and to continue to the second level. Moving to progress bars. Also, this is a very nice and excellent gamification example in education. Actually, many students, they love progress bars since these bars will help to know what they have already achieved and the appeal of a future achievement. If you look at this image here, you can see we have interactive trackers with different badges. So progress bars are interactive trackers showing the students and the learners information about their status, their milestones, future targets, possible badges to earn. For example, we have here champion if you complete all the courses. However, you have another badge which is in green, which is friendly. And this is only if he or she follows 3 friends. Also, we have overachiever here, earned 200 points. We have big spender spending over time, complete a lesson or a practice. So this is the track, as you can see here, with possible badges to earn, with different paths to choose, and an option with most games applications, we have to revisit the previous levels. So progress bars are really very important and very nice gamification examples, very useful for a special kind of thinking. Moving to leader boards. If you look at this classroom activity here, you can see this activity here, classroom activity for the math subject. You can see the list of top performers. You can see the learners' rank, the progress, how many points they earn, and the progress is recorded, as you can see here, in a leaderboard list, which usually this board applies clear criteria and defining all these points in the progress and the rank and the names of the performers. So now we have also another gamification example, and this is really very nice because students, they like also not only abstract badges, they like the idea of earning virtual money. What they're going to do with this virtual money, if you look at this image here, you can see that students, they earn money, they can buy questions. If they have 2 answers in a row correct, they will gain more money. If they have answered a question and wrong, and they have incorrect answer, they can pay only a percentage. So this is really very exciting to the students, since they are earning money and they are using the money at the same time. So for now, we have talked and find out more about the features, starting from points and levels to the leaderboard, in-app currency, rewards, and badges. Now it's time to share best gamification applications, and it's up to you to select, as I said, the student learning needs. What suits most your student as per their level, their class, their abilities. As we know that we are after personalizing uh, personalizing the status of the student and to know what the student excels in and what is his or her abilities. Let's move to best gamification applications. I will start with Minecraft. Minecraft is a wonderful platform with a variety of lesson plans and downloadable words, supporting teachers to gamify their classrooms in different ways. Can be used to tell stories with characters, locations, choices, motivations, plots. Also, educators can use Minecraft as a tool for students to write, to create stories and lessons and the projects. And all this will help to gamify your classroom and to motivate your students. So this is a highly recommended platform tool to be used with your students. Moving to Gimp. Gimp also very nice gamification application. There is a variety of types of questions that you create to personalize learning, provides a quiz building tools for teachers on different subjects. And this is very helpful, especially if you are teaching or you are a home school teacher and you are teaching different subjects. You can have a variety and you can have innovation and creativity and creating your own tools. Moving to gamification features in this application includes scores, team and individual competitions, in-game currency to buy and shop, to earn virtual money, and customization where the student can change the avatars or they can change the design. Now let's move to the most popular language learning website with 38 languages, over 300 million users Duolingo. Really very important and very nice, and students, especially primary students, elementary and intermediate students, they are motivated to use this application where there are many features and notifications and translation skills. This application really is very important and very helpful for our students. They have different types of activities and the questions. They can use the fill in the blanks, they can use the questions and the answers, and so on. I do recommend to start finding out if it is suitable for your students as well. Moving to Classcraft, This is a perfect example of gamification, showing a combination between video game storyline with the learning material. Also here, the website uses rewards, punishments, stopwatch, timer, mission, and quizzes, and students can choose their avatars, get superpowers, split into teams, get to social and learning skills. And this is what we are after to gamify your classroom. What about book widgets? This support teachers by providing them interactive lessons and various digital templates. As you can see here, like bingo cards, quizzes, worksheets, learning material, they can use as per the level of the class, as per their abilities, as per their ages, after school activities, summer activities, and so on. And this is available on all types of devices and more. The website allows to give points and keep statistics of each student's performance. Finally, here are the resources. If you would like to learn more about gamification, here are a few links to share with you to explore about gamification once it is possible. Finally, I would like to say that gamification is very important for promoting motivation and engagement in your classroom. However, we have to be selective and to understand first the meaning of gamification, because we have all to keep in mind that we are after helping our students. We are after students' learning needs. Thank you so much. And happy learning for all. Bye for now.